I have calculated all of our debt because that's something that I want to tackle and get it down as low as possible. I didn't realize how far in debt we were. I don't even want to say this number. We are, not including our mortgage, everything but our mortgage. Student loans, car payments, credit cards, home equity, $178,745. Why? Why did we do that? Minimum payments calculated together are $3,562.72.
How much debt do you have?
A lot.
Can you give us a number, a ballpark?
Probably like 90.
90,000 total.
Total.
Break
yes.
it down. What kind of debt do you have?
So student loans, and then a car. That's technically a debt.
Yeah, how much left on the car loan?
Well, I just bought a Mercedes. So,
Woo!
so it's a lot.
How much debt do you currently have total?
Probably like 80,000 in student loans.
All student loans?
Yeah.
No car payment, no credit card debt, none of that?
No, that's my parents.
How about you? How much debt do you have?
I feel like maybe like 40,000. I don't know.
You just feel like is there, you're just like, I'm vibing.
Whatever I have from school is it. But I'm in grad school right now, so it's like a lot more now.
Are you adding to it currently?
Yeah.
But everything is student loans. No car payment, no credit card, nothing else.
Well, I leased my car, so I don't know how that works.
Oh, that's debt. They'll tell you.
I feel like it's fine.
What's the payment on the lease?
Like 500 a month.
This is a nice car. What is this car?
The Bronco.
Oh my goodness, the Bronco.
A little bit of credit card debt, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I moved to Nashville, Tennessee with not really that much money, and then I decided to fully furnish my bedroom. But I will say something I've learned over the past couple of months is that a lot of my friends also do too, and it's very comforting in a way. Like, not that I'm proud of my friends for having credit card debt, but I'm just like, oh, thank God I'm not the only one. Because at the end of the day, we're all just in our 20s trying to figure out how the fuck to live in a freaking universe where rent is like $1,500. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. And then our parents are like, why are you in so much credit card debt? I'm sorry that rent isn't $400 like it was when you were 25.
Well, okay, I would say $1,500 a month is probably normal price to maybe on the low end now. I see a lot more people complaining about their rent when it's $2,000 to $3,000 now. And of course, it would be way cheaper a decade or two ago. But you admitting that you moved to another city with basically no money and then immediately spending money to furnish those rooms? Was there no plan beforehand? And then kind of explaining it away, saying that everybody has it, it's okay. And that's what the comment section says. Everybody has credit card debt, so many just act like they don't. I just pretend it's not there. As long as I pay some, my credit stays the same. I'm not worried. That's exactly how it snowballs, and that interest destroys you. Your credit card debt is because you furnished your bedroom. I would say that's a part of it, but probably not the whole picture. A couple comments from you guys talking about one of the older credit card debt videos. The amount of people that just openly admit they're scumbags is incredible. The lady talking about how she hid $55,000 worth of debt from her husband, whether it is for followers or the real deal, is just disgusting. Another one, hiding debt from your spouse or significant other is so insidious. If I was that lady's husband, I would have been filing for divorce the same day. No way I'm living with that level of distrust. So that's exactly what we saw, somebody making a TikTok informing the entire world of her debt and not her own husband. Sounds like a quick way to get a divorce to me, but this is way more common than you think, let alone how bad of a decision it is to take on a whole bunch of credit card debt, but then not telling your significant other. I mean, I can't even understand.
He has multiple credit cards, and I can't see anything that happens on those. So with that stuff, I don't know what she spends on that.
Wait, how? No. We're not having a household financial conversation if there's like documents that he can't see.
Well,
What?
I don't see
What are we talking
his
about?
credit card statements
What?
either.
What? So we're not having a household. What the fuck are we doing? So we're not having a household financial conversation. We don't know what's actually happening. That is so different. So you only look at the joint account? That means nothing. That tells you a third of the picture. How can we possibly know what's actually happening if we don't know what the fuck is actually happening? This doesn't make any sense. If we can't see 2/3, how the fuck are we guessing what the full pie is?
He doesn't
No
spend
wonder.
on his credit cards though.
So it's just you.
Yeah.
Then no wonder we don't know how much is being spent.
I don't even understand.
I filed bankruptcy 5.5 years ago, and I'm back in debt again. I have $95,000 worth of debt. I have the numbers here. $45,000 is cars. I have 2 cars, 2 Kias. $18,368,000 is loans, not student loans, personal loans. And then the rest is credit card debt. $31,604 in credit card debt between me and my husband. Yeah. We're in a crap ton of trouble. That's ridiculous. We did not learn our lesson the first time, and we've put ourselves in this situation again. So I'm here for accountability and to show me paying our debt off.
What was your financial problem? Just so I know, like, where did you start where you're like, oh, okay, I'm in a bad spot?
College was, I was so dumb in college, man. Just starting to go into it. I was going into a major that wasn't going to make any money. I wanted to go into music. And of course, if you're going to go into music, you have to have like a $50,000 computer or whatever. It's some nice, beautiful iMac. So max out a credit card with that. Got to have an electric piano. You got to be cool, you know, you got to be like the other music majors. Max out a credit card with that. Why cook when you're tired from school? Go to McDonald's every day. And that's before I was even a fat. Like, you know, I was just able to consume those and still be skinny, but max out a credit card with that. Got to get around. So I maxed out. I got like a $11,000 car loan, but I couldn't afford the down payment. Of course, I didn't know anything about money, so I borrowed like $5,000 from the grandparents just to get a down payment on a car. It's the same stuff we're seeing on the show.
So I called to cancel a credit card today, and the guy was like, instead of canceling, Miss Marble, why don't we refund you some of your payments from like the past 2 months and then up it to $15,000, your limit? And I said, no, thank you. I just want to cancel. And he goes, how about this then? How about we up it to $15,000, give you these traveling perks and all these other things? And I was like, oh my God, I know this is his job to push, but like he is not hearing me. And so I said, no, thank you. Don't want that. And he was like, how about this? And I said, you know, I really don't want this credit card. And I had a meeting with my spirit guides, and they agreed with me that I should get rid of this credit card too, and I don't really need it. And after I said that, he was like, no problem, Miss Marble. I will get this handled for you right away. And I was like, thank you so much. I will call myself the Village Crazy Lady. I will volunteer for that title.
I mean, that sounds like a pretty good tactic to me. You start throwing out insane statements to people trying to sell you or keep you using the credit card, they're just going to want you off the phone, and then you finally get what you want. But we've seen similar situations, so what she was talking about, upping the credit card limit. I remember there was another user tracking their debt payoff journey, and as the balance was going down, they were getting more and more emails saying, we're increasing the credit limit for you to go on vacation. This and that, you could buy whatever you want, trying to entice you to basically relapse. And we could take a look at some of the comments. They would have gotten me with the refunded payments, I fear. That's exactly why.
Card debt by income. This data was collected by the Federal Reserve as part of their survey of consumer finances, which was completed in 2023. To begin the list, at the lowest income percentile, a median annual salary of $20,540, 33.4% of these people have credit card debt with an average balance of $3,630. Moving on, median annual salary of $43,240, 46.4% of these people have credit card debt with an average balance of $3,840. Next, median annual salary of $70,260, 56.9% of these people, the highest in this list, have credit card debt with an average balance of $5,950. Next up, median annual salary in the six figures at $115,660. 54.4% of these people have credit card debt with an average balance of $7,440. Median annual salary of $189,160. 44.6% of these people still have credit card debt. I do not understand this. An average balance of $8,900. Finally, this is unbelievable. I have no idea why these people would still have credit card debt. But a median annual salary of $390,210, 25.4% of these people have credit card debt with an average balance of
$1,000 worth of credit card debt, and I recently shared how much was on each card and what the minimum payments are, but I keep getting asked what the interest rate is on each card, so let's go through them. This card has a 28.24% interest rate.
28? Oh my goodness, that is criminal.
This one has 28.15%. This one is at 27.24%. topping it off at 29.99%, 20.74%, 27.74%, 18.99%, and on the totally opposite end of the spectrum, we have 12.99%.
I owe TJ Maxx $9,562.30.
One store? Pookie, what are you doing? Ain't nothing in TJ Maxx that nice anyway.
And I'm trying to pay off my Affirm and Klarna loans. So as you can see, it's $9,562.30 that I owe. Now you are seeing a over limit because this account is closed. It's in hardship. It is officially on 0% for 60 months. If I only made the minimum payment, which was a little over $300.
22 years? It would take her 22 years?
$1 a month, $250 if I wasn't paying a late fee that month, was 22 years, and it would total $32,199 with an interest rate on purchases of 32.24%.
I just had a real come to Jesus moment about my finances. I started off this year determined to spend less money and funnel all of that into my credit card debt, which is high. It's a lot, which that in and of itself is like a huge point of shame and embarrassment for me, that I'm trying to work through the feelings and the debt all at the same time. I started off January so strong with eating at home, not spending money on fast food and eating out, and it really went downhill quick. So it's a new month, February just started, gonna get paid this week, and I decided to just total up how much money I spent on food in January, along with like reestablishing a budget, and it was shocking. This is so horrifying to say, but I'm gonna say it because I need to say it out loud to someone else. I spent, as a single person, just me, almost $700 on groceries and eating out in January, which is truly unreal, unacceptable. I was doing all the math, I was creating a new budget, and if I actually stuck to the budget I created, I would have like almost $800 every month to put towards my credit card debt.
Isn't it so interesting how we make these plans?
Never really talked about this, but during my freshman year of college, I studied abroad in London, and I had a credit card for the first time, and I actually went into thousands of dollars, I think exactly $4,000 in credit card debt, simply because I didn't know how to use it. Like, Lisa, what do you mean you didn't know how to use it? All you do is you pay off the card, right? Giving me a credit card with a sky-high credit limit was insane because I had a shopping addiction. It was my first time living alone, away from home. I was in a different country, so I didn't understand the exchange rate sometimes. And on top of that, the word minimum payment really f***s you up when you're like 18, you know? So for the most part, I did pay off the card. Like, I was so scared of going into debt that I would pay it off that day. I would buy something off of it. At the end of the day, I would make a payment. But then it got to a point where I was using it all the time. So then I started making minimum payments at the end of the month because I thought that's what it meant. And you know,
This gets so many people, especially these young folks.
it was my first semester of college. I was busy trying to make friends. I was going to class. I was in another country trying to explore things. So I never really thought to ask anyone about it, and I never clearly looked at my finances. Back then, I wasn't that financially savvy. I was making adult money for the first time doing YouTube, and it was just like not top of mind. I was literally a kid. And on top of that, being 18, I was just like, oh, I'm getting started with my credit building early. My mom told me about this. I got this. It's totally fine. But I didn't do a lot of research on my own. And it had foreign transaction fees, and I studied abroad in London. So every time I spent money on my credit card to be safer with my money, because I didn't want to use my debit card, like my bank card everywhere, and get scammed. I don't know. I was like,
No, I get it. They literally tell everybody to do this when you're abroad. This is whatever I do whenever I'm leaving the country.
Really paranoid. I had a transaction fee on every single transaction. The transaction fees on top of interest, because I paid the minimum payment, resulted me in being in thousands of dollars of credit card debt when I could have totally avoided it because I had the money to pay. I literally just didn't know what the words meant or looked at the app.
I am $9,800 in debt, and every month I pay a lot of money towards it, and I have not seen a difference. So then I paid more attention to my statement.
She must be just paying the minimums.
And my interest is $250 a month currently. That means if I pay $500 a month, then $250 of those $500 are going straight into interest, and then $250 going to the principal, which is going to take me forever to pay off. If you pay attention to the bottom of your statement, there's a crazy comparison. It's like if you pay your minimum, you'll pay this off.
$23,000 into credit card debt. I started dating a guy when I was around 12 or 13, and I dated him throughout middle school, high school, and into my early 20s. I'm not going to get into the super juicy details of this relationship, but just know that it was mentally, physically, emotionally abusive. And I am so, so grateful to be out of that relationship now. But I did make some bad financial decisions whenever I broke that relationship off 3 years ago. When I was in that relationship, I was controlled a lot, and I wasn't able to hang out with my friends. I wasn't able to travel. I wasn't really able to do anything, and that kind of led into my spending problem whenever I left that relationship. So I broke it off. I started doing solo trips out the wazoo. I was doing solo trip after solo trip, and guess what? I didn't have any money. I was working as a teller in a bank. I still work in a bank, but I
can understand, though, after being controlled in an abusive relationship, kind of crashing out a bit. But crashing out with the credit cards, oh, that hurts my soul.
I've since moved up positions, but I was working as a teller, so I wasn't making much. And so in turn, I was putting it all on my credit cards because I wanted to have these experiences that I felt like I had lost out on. Does that make sense? I pretty much did the same thing over and over and over and over again. I went on so many trips. I fell in love with national parks and hiking. And eventually I found myself $23,000 into credit card debt.
Your 21 SF9 you have for sale?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of this car, and I wanted to trade it.
What are you interested in trading it for?
It's the black Corvette Stingray C8. I think it's the 21, yeah.
Okay. And you have a Ferrari SF90 for trade?
Yeah, I do, man. Yeah, that's the car that I want to kind of get out of now, so.
Okay.
I just want to get as close to my payoff as possible, or if not all of it.
Okay.
Because I still do owe a reasonable amount on the car, so.
Okay, well, how much do you owe on it?
A little under $700,000.
How much?
About $690 something.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I bought the car for $770 in 2021.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. My number is probably going to start with a 4.
So you're saying $400,000 is what I'd give for the car?
No, I'd give you more than 400, but my number would start with a 4.
You're cooked. You're cooked. You're well off enough to be able to afford a $700,000 car, but ain't got the sense to know about the depreciation. Ain't got this.
4.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man, you're close to a little over $200,000 in negative equity.
$14,789.32 is what I am currently holding for my debt with all my credit cards. So that amount would only be about $6,000 something, but since I took out 2 loans from Upstart, that's where I'm getting the $14,000 because of the fact that one of them was for $5,500, I think, but then they charge you so much, so it's like really just $5,000. And then the other one I believe was for $3,400 or $3,100, and I'm now sitting, I believe, at $3,300. I don't know. I will link the amounts above so that you guys can see. I know for my balances, I'm gonna list what I have in the top.
It just keeps clicking. Y'all really got this many credit cards? This is so unnecessary, man. All you need is like 2, 3 of them, if that. But she gets like 7. Shoot.
Just to kind of show you the overall like amount that my credit cards are going through. 2024 was rough. It was a rough year. Since it is the beginning of the new year, I'm going to make a goal to try and tackle my credit card debt so that I'm basically not just like working to pay credit cards, because that's freaking miserable. People would think that this amount isn't a lot, but to me it's crazy. For those of you that don't know, I do hair. And for my credited tips from January to December of last year, 2024, I made $14,995. And low-key, it makes me sick because if I would have just saved all my credited tips, I would have been out of debt. So
Right. That's all your tips for the year. Man, equals what your credit card debt is. So maybe a little delayed gratification, a little foresight. I mean, she said it. That's crazy though. Seeing how it matched up almost equally would have just, man, that would hurt.
What I've learned is people are more afraid of student loan debt than they are of credit card debt. Because I just posted a video.
What do you guys think about that? You guys think that people are more afraid of student loans and credit card debt?
Talking about how I have $280,000 worth of student loan debt, and it was meant to be funny and really meant to point out the student debt crisis in the United States. But people started commenting things like, this is why I didn't go to school, the debt isn't worth it, and that was not the point of the video. And I just want to say student debt is one of the most worthwhile debts to get into, to get an education, to be able to be a high earner in the future and actually pay off that debt. I see a lot of people who don't go to school because they're afraid of debt and then end up in debt and credit card debt trying to afford day-to-day bills. So don't let debt be the reason that you don't go to school, because it'll be worth it in the end.
Nope. It could be, but a lot of people, like majority of people, are graduating with degrees that they didn't even need to be in career fields that aren't even using them. I mean, no. Certain careers, maybe. But most of them, no. It's not a good decision to go into debt to go to school, especially when you can go to school without going into debt. She needs to watch some of our videos. The statistics are staggering.
And it's way better than struggling to pay things day to day because you don't have a high earning job because you didn't get an education.
Get out of debt, I'm just letting you know right now, it shows. That same part of you that kind of liked being able to show off with the money and the pool and doing all those things, that same part of you that liked showing that, that's going to be the part that hurts the most when you show the opposite, which is we're downsizing our cars and we're downsizing and we're selling things and we don't go out as much and I don't buy the things that I used to buy. Your family's going to see it, your friends are going to see it, you're going to feel it, and that's just part of the process. Don't let that deter you. That's how you know it's working. That's how you know the medicine's getting in.
And I do think that deters a lot of people, and you start seeing the relatable post of people just getting into deeper and deeper debt because they don't want to actually show their friends and family that they're not living the lavish IG lifestyle like they're some sort of influencer, even though they have a normal job. But they're going on several vacations a year. They have a brand new SUV. They have a YSL bag or a Burberry coat, really nice shoes. They go out to eat all the time when they honestly don't make that kind of money, but they still want to keep up the charade, and it starts racking up the 5 figures and 6 figures worth of debt. It gets unimaginable at some points. If you